What is going on, you guys? I hope you're all having an amazing day. In today's video, we're going to be making some wall art with some card parts, so it should be a fun one. Basically, what I have planned is just be able to mount this onto the wall and then put some hooks on here so I can hang my keys or hang a hat, hang anything I want to hang onto here. I've seen it done before with some engine covers before. They just mount the engine cover to the wall and put like some hooks on there so you can hang things on there. And I do plan on making something like that as well with an engine cover, but I decided why not? Let's just make it out of this latch that I have left over from my old trunk setup. The OEM trunk that I used to have. And as a lot of UTC owners out there know, this latch right here is very fragile. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have either broken one of these or will break one of these. And instead of you guys just throwing this out, I'm gonna show you guys an alternative way that you guys can use this latch and just make some wall art out of it, you know. But another reason why I wanted to make this wall art was because I kind of want to start decorating my room more with like car stuff and things like that, things that motivate me and keep me positive and keep me going, you know. So this is gonna be the first piece on my wall that's gonna be different, you know. It's gonna be different than what I usually have. I do plan on painting my room and changing things up a little bit in there to keep me inspired and keep me motivated, you know, because that's where I surround myself the most of my time. That's where I'm editing my videos. That's where I think of most of my videos, either when I'm in my room or I'm going out for a drive. So I want to keep as much creativity and positivity in my mind as I can. That's kind of the game plan with that. This is going to be the first piece that's going to go on my wall. So let's get started on today's project. So I got everything we need right here. We got the trunk latch and we got all the essentials that I think we're gonna need in order to get this mounted, put the hooks on there and get it going. So I tried mounting this latch onto the wall, like just any wall. You can just mount it to any wall, like right here. But as you guys can tell, these little latches that are on the corner is stopping it from sitting flush. And I know it's not gonna sit 100% flush because this piece right here is a little curved, has some curvature to it. So it's not gonna sit completely flush, but the first thing we have to do is cut those tabs right there. So let's get them cut. So these pieces are cut already. Now if I were to put this on the wall again or on the pillar, as you guys can tell, it sits a lot more flush, even though there's still a little gap right there, but there's not as big of a gap as it was before. So now it sits a little bit better. So now we're just gonna take off these screws. There's 4 in the back. Unless you have broken them, then you won't have any, but there should be these screws, and you simply just push them out to the side. Kind of don't want to scratch the latch, but there you go. They just slide out. So just slide them all out. So what you're gonna need are gonna be these D-ring hangers. They look like this. Some hooks. Either you can get them in chrome, gold, any other color that you have that are actually in the store. So you'll need those hooks depending on how many you need. I'm just gonna put 4. And then you're gonna need these screws that go inside the hooks. There's already some screws in there, but I wanted some that you can put a nut in here because these are not nuttable. Yeah, not nuttable. And these are, so we're gonna be using these instead. So these are gonna fit in there. So just get a size that's gonna fit inside those holes. And then this is with that. And then these are the anchors, the drywall hollow anchors, you guys can tell. And these are the ones that go onto the wall, and they're gonna hook onto the actual latch. Everything you see right here, you can find everything at the hardware store. It's easy to find. You can find it all right there, all easy. So next thing we have to do, since we took off those hooks, we're gonna use these things right here. And basically what I have planned with these is, as you guys can tell, it has a little hole in them and it's like a little latch. This is what's gonna be hanging to the wall. You're gonna put the screw through here and you can hang it on there. And the way that's gonna happen is we're gonna put this in here. As you guys can tell, it sits perfectly good in there. And then we're gonna put a screw through there, and we're gonna put the screw that it comes with in here. So we're gonna put those screws in here. So we're just gonna put one there and then one on the other end. We're not gonna put 4, we're just gonna put 2. So these hooks are securely in place, and the way we're going to measure this, where to mount it onto the wall, because we're going to be mounting onto the drywall, I'm just going to use this string right here. I'm not going to use no measuring tape for this project. And then I'm going to try to tighten it up as much as possible, and then just mark it where the string touches the hook. And those should be the mounting points onto where you need to mount it to the wall. So you just stretch this along the wall, you tape it up to the wall, and then that's where you mark it. That's where you drill your anchors at. So let's go mount it onto the wall. Also, if you're second guessing these markings that you marked on the string, you feel like they're wrong, just put these hooks straight. Put these hooks straight, and then try to stretch the rope and put the markings where you marked it in between those hooks. And if it sits in between those hooks, in between in there, then that means you marked it correct. If not, go back and remark it. So as I can tell right here, these are perfect. So now we're gonna go mount it onto the wall. So I'm gonna tape up the wall, just a small little portion of the wall, that way I don't scratch up the wall. Some places where I don't need scratches to be. So let's tape that up. Once you got the wall all taped up where you need it to be, I'm just gonna get a level and a marker and just try and position this where I would want it to be. So right there, it's leveled. So I'm gonna mark a line all the way across. So there's a line. So I can drill in any of these spots right here in this line. So now we just gotta get the string. So we get the string. Look where you marked it at. Right here. And right here. I'm gonna try to position it in the middle, in between this frame right here. So I think right there should be good. Yeah, I think right there. Does it look good? I think it looks good. Yeah, I'm gonna mark it right there. I'm gonna get this tape. Tape it up right there. So I got the string on there, and as you guys can tell, it's perfectly straight right there in the line. And right here is the black mark where we marked it, where it's between in the hooks. So we're gonna mark a line right here, and then on this side as well. So that's where you're gonna be drilling your anchors through. So we're gonna drill through here and through here. Dang, that made a mess. Look at that. I'm gonna have to clean that up later. So the hole's made already. Now I'm just gonna get the anchor, and we're gonna put them. Well, we don't need the tape anymore, so let's remove the tape. And we're just gonna put the anchors inside the hole. So I got the anchors on there, as you guys can tell, and you have to screw the screw inside. That way the back of the anchor expands and it attaches to the drywall. So we gotta... I'm gonna have to use two hands. Give me a second. Put you guys down real quick. So now we're gonna remove these screws. Not remove them, just push them out a little bit. I think that should be good. And let's see if we need to push them out a little bit more, the screws, or if that's fine. So we should be able to hang this on there already. So let's see. There we go. Dang, look at that placement. Dang. Just right here is a little gap because, as you guys know, it's a little curved. But if you were to push this in, as you guys can tell, it totally closes. So I can probably put some 3M back there or something. but it doesn't really bother me. As you guys can tell, it sits perfect. Look at that. Woo! Beautiful. So now we're gonna move on to the next step, which is I gotta remove this now that I know it fits on there, and then we're gonna go put the hooks on there. So let's head outside and let's go put the hooks on there. So now we have to figure out where we're gonna put these hooks at, and since we're gonna be putting 4, we gotta separate them perfect and evenly. So let me get these out. Don't need that. All right, so we're gonna tape this up now, just so I don't scratch it. So I'm gonna put them at 3.5 and 7.5. 3.5 and 7.5. Okay. So the 3.5 is gonna go right there. Now the 7.5 is gonna go right about there. So it looks like this little piece right here is getting in the way, so we're just gonna cut that off. So the hooks are on there, and look at that, dude. This thing looks freaking awesome. Look at that. Now I can just hang my keys. Bam. But all that's left to do is just put it on the wall and just test it out. You know, just test it out. But look at that, dude. You're not gonna tell me this thing is not badass. This thing is freaking badass. Now you guys have something to do with your guys' broken latch. This thing is awesome. I feel like I should paint it. I don't know, it looks pretty awesome. It looks good because of the chrome, and then the Scion badge is kind of like silverish, so it kind of like blends in. That's why I kind of went with the chrome hooks instead of like the gold and whatnot. So it looks clean. It looks clean. Let's go put it on. Look at that. All that's left to do, since now that I'm noticing right now, these are somewhat heavy, so it's making it push out a little bit to the front. I mean, it doesn't look bad, as you guys can tell. Like, it doesn't look bad, but like I was telling you guys, if I were to put like some 3M, it could stick back like that. But it does. Oh, look at that. It stayed back. I guess because of the frame, it kind of held on, but it sticks out like that. But that looks good because it looks like it's like pushed out. Like, there's a big old gap here, so it looks like it's just floating there. I think that's even better because it looks like it's just floating. It's just floating there. Look, if you guys were just to look at the side, it looks like it's just floating. I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm not gonna put no 3M, because if you put 3M, I mean, it looks good and all, but I think I kind of like this floating look, sort of look. Now, let's test it out. Bam! Look at that. Let's put this hat now. Bam! Look at that, dude. That is awesome. That is freaking awesome. So this is something that you guys can do. Either Scion owners, I know FRS has this lift gate as well. Any other cars that have a lift gate, or you can just take one off of a car. Don't steal them, buy them, or go get them from a used lot. But get them. You can get something like this, paint it, put your own badge on there. Like the Scion has some indentation. And say if you have a Lexus, you can put your Lexus. If it doesn't have a lift gate, you can put the Lexus badge on there. Whatever you want. Just it just looks awesome. It looks goddamn awesome. Look at that. Woo! So that's where I'm going to end today's video off, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And if you guys did, make sure you guys smash that like button. Because this, honestly, this was freaking badass. And I'm pretty sure I can build other stuff with like leftover car parts. So if I come up with something else, I'll make sure to show you guys how to do it. Because this thing, it's freaking badass. Make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. Also, leave a comment if you guys have any questions. As well as I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I honestly had a blast making it because this thing was freaking awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, guys. Peace out, and don't forget, embrace yourself.